Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip, DWTT, or as my friends call me, Gary. And we'll get this show started in a little bit. I have a little intro I want to go through, but then we'll just a little thing I want to talk about, and then we'll go through the intro. We'll go through the intros first. So, Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well, my friends. How are you all doing on this Monday evening, morning, wherever you are,
Cool.
afternoon?
Still
And
alive.
yeah. And Tony, how you doing?
I'm still here.
That's good. That's good to
Battle.
see. All right. And Mr. Tom, last but not least, how you doing, sir?
Fresh out of a wax booth.
Greetings. Oh, go on, Tony. Go on. Sorry.
Brazilian to go with all our Brazilian players? Is that
What?
that's what happened to you?
What is he?
His
What is he talking?
buddy.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Stop. Just do the intro again. Do the countdown again. Do the countdown again. The clock's been going less than 90 seconds.
And Tony
Tony's
just
already
messed it up.
just
Thank you,
Tom.
Tony.
Hey,
All
Tom,
right, so
just bring out the chips, Tom. Just go ahead and
all
bring
right, all right. Let's move on to our
Yeah,
next thing because that intro
I'm
just
gonna
got
go and get
blown
my
up.
crisps, Tony.
All right, so I'll just say a hi to those who just joined us in the chat, and then we'll get into my little spiel I want to go through as well. So we've got Riss, welcome to this show. Arsenal Misfit is in there. Yeah, that's Tony. Mr. Tom, can you speak? And then Tony speaks. So, Tony, can you speak? And then crickets. So there you go. That is, you guys know how this thing works. But before we get started, I just wanted to bring up something that's been going on for a while now. You'll see it right here, and you will see it. And I'll put it in the chat so you can take a look at it as well. Yeah, some of you know, a while back, Tony, had a little issue that came up. Ended up having to get his leg amputated, and so he's been, it's been challenging, nonetheless, with the way that the medical system works over here in the States, and he's trying to get enough money to actually buy himself a leg. Yeah, so got his GoFundMe page. We've done a couple of fundraisers for it, but he's still short, as you can see. So if you can, if when you have a chance, either or, and you can, if you can, put some money, donate. We appreciate it. If not, can you at least share the link around? We would appreciate that as well. The more eyes that see this, the more chances Tony has to get the associated funds to help out with the leg. So, Tony, you have anything else you want to say to that?
It's just been over a year and a half now. Trying to keep on having breakdowns of a leg, and so a lot of times I'm spending 2-3 weeks at a time, mainly in a wheelchair. It's kind of difficult. It's frustrating, but I'm gonna raise money and get back on my feet.
There you go. So let's hope get Tony back on his feet, and we'll go from there. All right. So I put the link in the chat. So if you got it, you can go ahead and share it, or if you want to donate, you can do that as well. And we'll get into the football chat now. All right. So
I was looking at who didn't click the anonymous box. I was like, oh, okay.
all right. So first up, so let's get into it now. We are here. Oh, we had some more people join us, and Why Not has joined us, and he's actually changed up his intro. Let's start up the band. Win, lose, draw. Arteta, Cronky out always. So it's a little bit different intro, but the message is exactly the same.
It's actually one of his more friendly intros.
Yeah.
We'll see if that continues. All right. And then next up we have Ben Ireland has joined us. Welcome, Ben. Yeah, so it's a quick visit. Oh, thank you for joining us. I know it's kind of late there, so if you can stay, as long as you can stay, the longer you can stay, we appreciate it. But we'll go from there. And then Big Gunner has joined us as well. Yep, let's get Tony up and moving. Definitely.
Yep.
And Steve Denham has joined us, and
At the moment.
yeah, I'll reach out to everybody else as we go along. So I did have some things that I think we wanted to talk about, and probably the biggest news right now, right? Biggest news right now is that we have a new left back or midfielder. I guess
Hey,
we'll
left back.
get into it.
He's
We'll
played there
get into
82
that.
years back.
Tony, let me speak. Then you can chat. I'll give you all the time in the world to speak. Alexander Zinchenko he's close. He's 99% an Arsenal player. I think right now it's just a matter of getting him to the physical or the medical, sorry, and then having him fly over to Orlando. I believe he's in Texas right now with City, so he's on his way, and we should see him. I think definitely by Wednesday we should see him at least in the stands, and hopefully we'll see him on the pitch on Saturday. I think it is. So yeah. So Zinchenko is an Arsenal player, so we've got another City player coming in. I'm looking forward to that. That cut at the least now we've got a solid depth at the left back and midfield position, depending on where he decides to go. And if not, we've got a really solid starter if he's going to be playing most likely midfield, but we'll see how that all pans out. So I'll go around, and I guess Tony wanted to talk, so we'll go in that order. So Tony, tell me about Zinchenko. Your initial thoughts, and then we get into where he
Sorry,
plays.
Matt's give me a great idea. I'll be back.
Okay.
10 of a time, he's starting at left back, which primarily where he plays at. He's wrestling.
Let's get into that later. Just talk about the player first. We'll get into the left back midfield conversation because that we can get into that. But let's talk about Zinchenko. He joined us. Initial thoughts.
Is we need a left back, but he's just as injury prone than Tierney. Most Premier League starts is 20. Most years 24, and that was back in Russia. So we got guys time, good player, good quality player. Can he overcome his injuries? Tierney have to share duties. Gotta move. And I'm just kind of where Arteta sees him at. Is he sees him as backup to Tierney, or does he see him? I think it's left back.
All right, and Matt, talk to me. Zinchenko.
He's just wanting to know what flavor of Walker is that.
What we got today, Tom? What flavor we got today, brother?
Yeah,
What flavor we got today, Tom?
Oh, is that what we're doing?
I wasn't intending on interrupting Matt when he was talking. The plan was I was going to rustle it when Tony spoke. But, anyway.
Tony went first because you left us. So.
No, but I just mean I was going to delay it and just keep doing it every time he spoke because I'm a bit of a twat like that. But anyway, well, Matt, today I've got prawn cocktail flavoured Walkers, which I believe is called Lays in your country.
That's correct. That is it.
Yeah, but we don't give a say kind of what we did.
No, I think
Walker ones always look interesting.
No, this thing I think is it's interesting to see where they're gonna play him. He wants to play midfield, Gary. I would assume that if he signed for Arsenal, he's been assured that he's gonna play midfield. But Arteta could be a con man. He'll get you to sign the line, and then he'll be playing right forward. So who knows? Who knows? I think it's a good signing. Now, if you'd have said, "Well, Matt, man, who would you have wanted to play?" If we signed him for left back, who would you want? I would have wanted Cucurella from over at Brighton. That'd have been my optimum pick. You probably could. It's amazing that City's gonna probably get him for little or nothing because they, it's what, man. City's had a hell of a good window, man. I don't think people realize how much money they only spent. $60 million for Erling Haaland. That's insanity. They've had a really good.
60 though is a little bit of a farce, right? Because there's a lot of fees. There's a lot of fees and his salary that isn't like.
Well, you got
part of the deal.
You got to keep in mind whose salary is coming off the books. So they freed up the salary by moving players along. So but back to what's his name? I can't even pronounce it. I don't do like
Zinchenko?
Yeah,
Zinchenko.
I want to do the lead judges, man. Yeah. Zinchenko. I think that the jury will be out. I really would like to see him. When did you say Saturday? You said, is that what you said? Saturday?
Well, I said he's supposed to be coming. He's supposed to be traveling soon to get a physical and all of that and officially sign. So I believe they want him. They want him in the club with the club. By Wednesday for sure.
Yeah, I was hoping they would have worked it out over the weekend and he would have been flying out to play Wednesday. I know that's a little bit of a rough flight, but yeah, I would have liked to see at least 15 minutes of him on Wednesday. But Saturday I do. So, I mean, it's good to see see that. If he's coming in midfield, that's a huge help. All I can think of is we got to get Granit Xhaka out this midfield somewhere or another. And I'm starting to think a lot of these midfield moves are being made. I think that they made the reality may be finally setting in over there. That this is not the man for midfield. I mean, yeah, I've watched the game. Well, we'll talk about that.
All right, yeah, we'll get into that. So yeah, so next up we got Mr. Tom. I guess you can't. Do you want to rustle the bag while you're talking, or it doesn't work that way?
I'll tell you what, because I know Matt loves it so much. I'm gonna own the bag.
You smell that aroma, but you smell that aroma. I smell that over here, man.
So this segment is brought to you by, what is it called?
Walker's.
Walker's prawn cocktail. Is that what it is?
Cocktail flavor.
There you go.
Cocktail,
it's pink.
basically.
There you go. Free advertisement for Walker's.
It's surprisingly tasty. Yeah. They should be paying me, really, but that's okay, Walkers, because your tasty product is worth.
Cool.
Half the bag is out. I mean,
well, talk a little bit about Zinchenko.
Yeah, he's a human, isn't he? And I believe he's a footballer. And no. So I've done some research, and I believe he is actually ranked quite high up in terms of creation chances last season. Like, there's only the real elite level players, that were a couple of them, that were higher than him, which is quite impressive considering that Tony's going to point out at some point that he didn't actually play many games for a variety of reasons, injuries, and the fact that he plays for Man City, because no one plays lots of games for Man City realistically, apart from the goalkeeper. So, but personally, I do believe, unbiased, I believe you've got a good player for a good price.
Cool. Yeah, I believe we got a good player. I mean, we definitely have more to do. And I thought I saw a tweet that said we still have maybe 2 or 3 more players to bring in, which actually sounds pleasant to me. It sounds really encouraging to me. So hopefully that is the case. I think we know there's some other players out there, but I know I was trying to get you guys just to talk about the player, but everybody had to talk about where he's going to play. Is it left back? Is it midfield?
Sorry,
that's the question. Yeah. So I would be happy. Well, there's 2 things, right? If he's gonna play midfield, that means Xhaka will sit, so that I'll take it. Otherwise, we know that Tierney hasn't lasted more than a half a season anyway. So with that in mind, plus Europa League games, it's going to be more games for other people to play. In this case, Zinchenko, and we know that he's coming in with a good pedigree, right? He's been taught well, not only by Arteta but also by Pep. So he's probably be good. I just looking at his stats, like you said, he hasn't played any more than about 20 games in a season, and that 20 I think is the max that he's played for City. And last year he only played 15. So, and 4 assists. So his minutes have gone up gradually until last year. I think that's probably, like you said, injuries, but he's been gradually getting more and more minutes in. So hopefully it's not a big blip for us when he plays for us, and we get more minutes out of him than he has in the last couple years. I don't care where he plays, but I would like him to play midfield if that pushes Xhaka out, because I believe he'll bring a little bit more to us. Tony, your thoughts on left back or midfield?
Yeah, like I said, he's 82% of the starts of game, so it's probably where he'll be at. Tom, your chips are
82% of the game.
distract me,
82% wire
at left back, where he's played. Maybe he'll make the transition to midfield. Who knows? With Arteta, you never know where they're going to play. Like I said, you might see him as right forward. I don't know. He's a pretty versatile player. We need that since we got rid of Niles. We need some of those utility players that can fill in wherever you need them. Arteta puts him in the right places for the right games, which I don't trust that he'll do. I'm not really sure where we bought him for. I'm thinking left back, since just mentioned it. We're still looking at Arthur as midfield. I see him more as about same ability, not much of a step up in player. But a midfielder, I think we'll get another midfielder this window, so I'd have to say he'll probably be back up left back, like I said, because of injuries. So him and Tierney, can they even complete a full season with both of them? That's to be seen. It's a little bit of a gamble. A little less injury prone, other players available out there, but if the Arteta wants.
Okay, cool. And Matt, I think you did allude to left back or midfield. Just give it to me again real quick.
Well, I mean, it's the matter of where's he gonna play. If I had to guess, he's probably coming in as a midfielder. So that would be my anticipation. He's gonna be playing midfield. Somebody's gonna get booted out of midfield. Odds are it's gonna either be Shaka or Party. Dodger's gonna be Party. I think Shaka's going to get sold. I know I was listening to Brother Gunner earlier today. He was saying something about a clause for 35 games is in his contract, which I had heard that before. And I mean,
35. Who's that for?
Shaka.
I don't understand how you can put a number down to how many games somebody plays.
I mean, when you run a deal, man. I mean, when you sign a player, man. I mean, you got to also keep in mind who was dealing with our contracts down there for a little while on the renewals. We had a guy that was doing deal with car companies that didn't exist, so you have to keep all that in mind. Brown envelopes. You know? So I mean, it's not surprising, but I think that I'm starting to feel like I think if someone comes in on deadline day with the right number, I think he'll be sold.
I hear you.
Should have sold him last year. Is what we should have did.
Yeah.
We should have took the money, got him the wrong one, and got him out of there. So I think now it also could be this too, Gary. It could very well be a case of reinforcements due to the World Cup. I just don't know yet until that passes, and I know kind of where we are. So, but nonetheless, decent signing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. It's one thing to perform in City's team when you got those kind of world class players. But then again, it's kind of like, we see Jesus has started. You can look at him and tell he's relatively pretty good there. So hopefully, the class is just permanent and that it shows up in our score. So.
All right, yeah. So sorry, I was just looking away because I noticed that the chat in our window here is stopped, but there are chats. So I'm not ignoring anybody, but I just saw. Looks like this app is having a little bit of an issue with the chat messages because they're not getting refreshed on our end, but I can see them now coming in from the from YouTube, so I will mention them. So yeah, and BX Gunner Zinchenko is a player normally linked with like a Juve. Yeah, but we got him, so we'll take it. John Ravenite FC has joined us as well. Welcome. Yeah, we need 2 or 3 more games. Yeah, 2 or 3 more games, 2 or 3 more players for sure. Des the Enforcers joined us as well. Welcome. Yeah. Why are we still linked with author? He wrote author, the book person, but sounds like that's I think there's been a recycling of players when the media gets tired. They just go back through the list of the ones we looked at in the past because that seems to be the case. If we're not giving out any information, so they got to find a way, right?
Yeah, that whole.
Well, I said we're
Yeah.
really interested in him starting to go.
I'm not even acknowledging the Arthur deal, man. I'm not even.
Yeah.
I don't even see that.
Yeah.
Hope
and
not.
Des is wondering, is he should replace Partey because Partey also is part-time. So pretty much anywhere in the midfield, that's the plus. And the plus is that's a plus. He can play all those areas, so that would be nice. So Xhaka should be a Roma player. I don't know if they're looking now, are they? I thought they just made a deal. I don't know who it's for. Oh, yeah, that's right. Roma just landed Dybala, so I have a feeling they, Xhaka would be I think, everybody was surprised that he went to Roma, but big time coach. When you get a big time manager, I guess it's easy to pull big time players, right? So, yeah. So, what else is there? Oh, Hertha Berlin player, yeah. Arsenal Misfit has joined us as well. Welcome. And Mr. Tom is in there talking. Yeah. So yeah, I can't bring up your messages. I don't get it. But what I probably can do is I probably can. Let's see. I can probably show the messages as they pop up. So maybe that's what we'll do. So it'll be live messages, but we're there. All right. So Mr. Tom, talk to me about. I don't know. Do you know much about Zinchenko?
Who's at the moment? I've got a massive crisp in my mouth. Anyway, sorry. Right, sorry. Zinchenko, no. I think he will play, similar to what has been said, he will play in the centre of your park or in midfield, let's say. But he's obviously going to be the go-to man for if your left-back position becomes problematic.
Yeah, it's basically our Swiss Army knife, and it'll fix anything that's broken. And we, which is good because we need that guy. But
maybe I'll get rid of.
That would be nice as well. Well, some of them, yeah. So we'll see about all that as well. So no, I think it's a good addition. I didn't realize his stats were, I guess, not as impressive as I thought they would be. I mean, he's been with City for 4 years. He's got about 7 assists, no goals. But based on where he plays, it's probably not a big a deal. And I believe, we've seen him play for Ukraine, and he's looked really good there. So we know that there's a player in there, So I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that as far as what he's going to do for Arsenal. I guess statistics-wise, if he's gonna show up and give us more goals and assists.
Yeah, I haven't seen much with Ukraine. Looks like a good captain, getting the team fired up. So he'll help on 25. So it's kind of the between 23 and 25. A little bit more experience, and here it seems like 25 is a magic number. And hopefully communication that broke down there last year, more leadership, because once Tierney went out, just the communication broke down. So hopefully Zinchenko can do that. We'll see how much we see him in the midfield, but we know we'll see him. Some just can't stay fit, and doesn't seem like Zinchenko can either.
Yeah, well, I guess hopefully for me, I always said maybe we'll just rotate the players. So Matt, anything else you want to say in Zinchenko? I mean, I kind of feel like, like we don't know if they can make it through a whole season. Well, we know some players can't because they haven't ever. But I kind of feel like that just allows us to rotate our players and not hopefully miss much in the way of performances. So, Mr. Tom, you have anything else to say about Zinchenko before we move on?
We're still talking about Zinchenko. It's been 26 minutes.
I know. But like I said, do you have anything else to say about him before we move on?
Oh no, I'd rather talk about anything else.
All right, so let's do that. Let's talk about something else. And so with players coming in, and I always say, there's going to be some players having to go out. I mean, I think there's at least 10 players that actually are sitting in Orlando right now that aren't part of our future, even if we wanted them to be, because they put us over that, that 25 member limit. So there's a couple players I'm happy that I think not happy, but I'm a couple players that will be. Well, I have about 8 players that definitely should be gone. So I got Leno, Runarsson, Bellerin, Marie, Torreira, Mills, Pepe, and Nelson. Guys, have anything to say about those guys going? I start with you, Matt.
They need to be sold, man. I mean, we got a lot of deadwood in this team, man. Y'all know how I feel about this deadwood. These guys need to go. What they should have done Saturday is post game. They should have put a table outside of the stadium, and they should have put up a sign, offer whatever, fire sale, yard sale, consignment sale, whatever you want to call it, and they should have sold those guys. They should have had MLS teams lining up in the drove, pick them up. Whoever, come one, come on. These guys need to be sold. They should have been sold a long time ago. I'm gonna hold you to what you said. 10 players. You said 10 players.
The 10 players that are on this trip will not be a part of the future, I believe.
And and the more I think about that, it's disturbing that you got a lot of guys that's in this U team. Manager touts the youth project, correct? That's what he touts. He's the youth, youth movement or whatever project, all this stuff. And you got guys like Flores, can't even get a trip to the United States. Now, I have a problem when for a fact that that you're selling guys. I mean, we had a deal on the table. Y'all hear this? A deal on the table. We had the deal. We had the paperwork ready to go for Leno. And Arsenal over there haggling for a piece of change. Man, sell that man and move on, man. And get this over with. We got guys that should have been sold. We should have had youngsters coming over, getting a little run out. And I know somebody's in the chat. Well, Matt, he's going. He's building the squad. He's creating it and getting it prepared. He's getting it prepared. He's getting ready for the season. Yeah, but that second half, and we'll talk about the game. But that second half would have been prime for some of those youngsters to come out there and do something, man. I just think that these guys that we know, the Maitland-Niles of the world, oh my God, the Bellerins. Oh man, Bellerin.
God, he looked horrible.
Pepe, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll just save it because I already know we're gonna go down it. We're gonna go down that rabbit hole in a little while. So you look at Pepe, all these guys. He's taking all this deadwood, and I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, y'all. And this is just me being conspiracy theorist. I think that there was a deal cut that they had to bring these guys over for marketing purposes for Arsenal. I honestly believe that's what I think it was. Because there's no way in the hell somebody with good sense is going to bring 10 players that are not going to be on this team on a tour unless contractually you're obligated to do so. Which knowing the Cronkies and knowing how things work in the marketing world with them, I would not be surprised if that's exactly what happened. Now, if it did not happen that way, then Arteta is a bigger damn fool as I thought he was. So, it's my thoughts.
I hear you. And we'll get into. I'm just going to bring up some. Since I can't. I guess I believe this is okay that I bring up the YouTube chat because it's not working through here. So we'll talk about these. Let's see if this
You can't
this
copyright
works. Oh,
yourself, Gary.
I get So
You can
I
leave it
think
like
we're
that, man. Just scroll. Yeah.
yeah. I can scroll. So cool. So everybody's chats will be in there, and we'll kind of go through it. Mr. Tom, I'll get to that question for you in a bit, but yeah, I don't know about Xhaka going to under 23s. I can't see that happening in Arsenal Misfit.
No.
And Mr. Tom did answer where all that money went, and they're still spending money. But he also said, "What you got? Like a couple $100 million also for staying in the league." So they're rich. They're rich. Yeah. Why not? Sentiment has no. He's not feeling it for Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko is better than some of the midfielders we got right now, regardless of whether you look at if you look at the stats or not. So I think it's a plus. Director John has joined us. Welcome. For Firpo, we can't talk about Firpo. Firpo's on the injured list. Man's in the doctor's office right now. When he comes back, we'll talk about him. So yeah.
Probably the best footballer in the doctor's office, don't it?
There you go. See, yeah. As Arsenal Misfit says, Zinchenko's numbers are probably less because the more he plays on the left side, he doesn't, get much, especially in a city environment. But I think for us, we don't mind if he goes up there and makes does attacks and puts the ball in the box and stuff like that. So it's a little bit open game for us when we go there. And I have not forgotten Xhaka. There are 8 players that definitely won't be with us. Xhaka I would like him not to be, but I just don't foresee that. So we shall see about that one.
You can't forget him.
No, stop it. You guys talking about Hutchison as well? Hutchison, I think that's Arsenal doesn't want to spend the same amount of money that they paid for Balogun. I think they made a mistake with that one, and that's why they kind of try to correct themselves. So they're going to lose players that way, and that's probably going to happen until Arsenal gets this thing right. Giving money to players that don't deserve it. We're going to have to stop doing that. All right, so I think I don't know. Let me see. I think that's it for all the comments that have come in so far. Yeah. Pace 20. I don't
Those
think Jacques
crisps have really parched my throat. I better wash those crisps down with a delicious
What are you going to wash it? What are you going to wash it down with tonight?
I'm going to wash it down with my beverage of choice, a John Smith bitter, of course.
Move that over a little bit because it's getting cut off. There we go. Everybody can see it. All right. Yeah, I think Zinchenko is a little bit more than dependable. I think he's got something to him. So we'll see if we get it out of him. But Jacques Arteta knows him. So yeah, so those are the 8 players that I talked about. Tony, you got anything you want to say on the 8 players that definitely will not be here? The Leno, Renarsson, Bellerin, Marie, Torreira, Maitland-Niles, Pepe, and Nelson.
Leno is the only one I'm still not sure if we should sell him because Turner so far he hasn't looked convincing. To me, if they're only to get 8 to Leno, I'd almost keep him. See if an offer comes in the winter window. If not, just keep him until his contract expires and let him go out when he's been loaned out earlier. I would have loaned him out solo, but he hasn't developed enough. And going back out on loan, but Bellerin was probably the worst player on the pitch this weekend. And Mari, he's okay, but not enough, even though we need depth. It's funny, here we are talking about Deadwood, and here in a row that we've gotten rid of Deadwood. And how do we keep getting rid of Deadwood? of these are still Arteta signings. They're not other people. Pepe and Leno's really, and Niles are only 3 on the list are ones that are. So there's definitely no excuses now. They're all Arteta's babies. Even though we have like on the squad now that he's either signed or extended. But they're not good enough. You have adequate backup. I don't think we've crossed all the boxes. We still need right back cover. We need another striker, definitely, because Nketiah just I don't think I cut it. I know he did him in the second half, but he didn't look good. Big merchant gets stuck by just moving around, being in the right place. Not like Jesus is. Really wish we get somebody to challenge him, but it doesn't look like we'll do that this window.
Cool. Mr. Tom, you got anything else to say? You got anything to say about Arsenal players? What about you can add the Leeds players at the end?
I actually at work earlier. I watched the highlights of your game from Saturday night. We'll
get to the game next. For me,
it was Saturday night, but obviously for you guys, it was.
Talk about the players.
Talk about the players first. We'll get to the game next. That's next.
There was 11 of them. And,
you might as well just go ahead and segue.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I was going to hold that thought was because not only do we have 8 players that are definitely going to be gone, but we have at least 2 players that are going to go out on loan, right? So, for me, at least Balogun and I think Okonkwo will probably be out on loan, I believe, if I recall. So those are 2 other players that made it that probably aren't part of our future. If they are, that means we haven't done a good job in the window.
Well, these guys. This is once again we're back on this whole surplus requirements deal. Instead of moving these guys out and bringing in quality, we're going to end. What I'm worried about is we're going to end up moving these guys out, not replacing them, and then we're going to be sitting here in December, raising hell because we don't have enough players. I told y'all I just when the season ended, and I know somebody's going, well, man, that's not realistic. Yeah, I would have been terminating contracts left and right. Oh, you don't, we can't get your soul. Goodbye. We're rolling you out, man. Because a lot of these guys just taking up space, and we could have went out and got some quality players. I've seen some numbers thrown about. Oh, somebody I saw just geared to get signed for $16 million. I forgot who it was. I think it was that dude Diaby or somebody. Because Newcastle was looking at it. One of these guys was like an absurdly low amount, and I'm just like, these are all sales that we should have been in on. I saw our favorite signing, Ivan Toney, is nearing the move. The players that we should have been linked with, I told Lee earlier. I said the Arteta does have some pull, contrary to what people believe. He has some pull. He can draw some players. If you either play for City, you're Brazilian, or you get retired from Chelsea, he can find it. We've got
speak Portuguese as well. Works.
Yeah, and speak Portuguese. We got contract for you, man. We got contract ready to roll. Yeah. But this deadwood, man, I'm afraid that we have got these players that should have been sold on 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, and we have now stuck with this deadwood, and they refuse to have a fire sale. But I would just go ahead and have a fire sale, and we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna be quiet because I want to get to this game because I want to talk about 1 or 2 of these players in this game.
All right. So let's let me go through some of these chat messages here. So I think this Mr. Tom will be sponsored by BMW. That'd be nice. Yeah, Ravenite John, I did see, I did, and I just popped it up here. If you see, Jonathan Jones has donated. Thank you very much. Got Ben Island did put in some money as well. Thank you very much for the donation.
Good boys. So, good boys. They're not good as me. They're not as good as me, but they're good boys.
Yeah. Good boys. You're anonymous, you think?
How do we know if you donated.
How did what?
So how do we know Tom did?
I don't know. I didn't go through the whole list. So
Tom's missed.
the one thing he's done is at least he's
I donated without even
supported you.
knowing who he was.
There you go. And then he
It was
upset you, right?
fortunate. It was fortunate,
Thomas
Tony, because if I did know who he was, he had nothing.
He's like, let's go through these chats real quick here. So,
Come on, Tom. Be nice. You send me $100.
Mark has joined us. Welcome, Mark, to the show.
Here's my last
Spending
donation.
money. Yeah.
Don't tell people that. You'll ruin my credibility in the internet community.
Yeah. Why not Spursy Bellerin got to go too? Yeah, definitely. Tomiyasu's not good enough. Need a new right back. You think so? I think he was all right. I think if he's healthy, I mean, as he got more into it, I think he plays. He's really good defensively for us. He doesn't give us the same answers to the questions that Tierney does, but I think he's better defensively, right? So we got a defensive right back and an attacking left back kind of. So we need, if we could get the same on both, that would be nice, right? But I thought Tomiyasu did a job for us. So I think more of the injuries are the concern more than whether or not they can do a specific job. Tielemans prefers Arsenal, and I don't understand why Arsenal doesn't prefer Tielemans. So
I don't know. That is so strange, man. That you've got a player that just absolutely wants to come to us. Well, no, because we had one that went right down the road to the
he doesn't speak Portuguese.
He doesn't speak Portuguese. He's not Brazilian, and he's not coming from Chelsea, so he does not fit. He does not fit any of the standards that have been set by the regime of Arteta, Kroenke, and Edu.
Belgium, Brazilian. They both start with B. They both start with B. Now, I get you, Steve Denham, in terms of rotating, but I think we're going to have to rotate anyways. So if we don't add any more players that can legitimately start 30 games a season, rotation is probably the way it's going to be. At least that's an answer. It's not the solution. It's not the best solution, but it gets us there. Yeah.
That's going to be an issue.
James, Trent, Walker, Castana, Pereira. Are those players available? Castana and Pereira?
I thought James Trent Walker was just the name of a player at first.
Well, I was trying to figure out, were they trying to say I get those three there, but those talk about three of some of the top right backs in the league. I think we're not there yet. I think we just need to get starters first, and then we can talk about getting the best of the best. I think so. As somebody said up there, I forgot who mentioned. I think I saw a comment there about let's just get a starting 11. All right, and I kind of feel that way as well. Let's just get a starting 11. I think did I miss the comment? Yeah, it's somewhere in there. But we definitely right there. We need to start a new starting 11 from Why Not. He's not even impressed with the 11 with like most of the players we got now.
Scrap it.
New starting 11.
Burn all of them.
He's just scorched the earth. Let's try this thing all over again. I think we're okay. I don't think we're that bad. Why not? I get you, but I don't think we're there yet. Let's get a starting 11. Let's build on that. So let's get into it now. So we'll talk about him here. So Arsenal once again gave us 45 minutes of good football and 45 minutes of not so good. But
they gave us
one thing they did is they started out. Football? You let me finish? You let me finish? No?
Go ahead.
Tony?
Give me some.
What's up with you tonight, Mr. Tony?
I can't even get like. Anyways, let's get back to it. I'll let you go first. It sounds like it. Yeah. So first things first, starting lineup for me. Well, I looked at it and I said, nice. Got the three Gabbies. Got Saka, Erdogan. I'm liking it. Saliba. Gotta like that, right? I mean, those are some of the players that I wanted to see playing together. Saliba and Gabriel playing next to each other. Got to be good, right? And want to see how they would play. Tony, talk to me about the game. I guess the first half at least. We'll get into the other
first half
parts
was
later.
mixed. They're holding onto the ball very well. Everton was playing defensively, passing the ball around, easily turning it over. They weren't doing anything to keep us from trying to go forward, but we still doing lots of sideways passes, like not near enough tempo, not near enough speed, because speed's unlock Jesus. That's what we need to be aiming for. Second half, it was boring. During the watch along, we could barely keep up with it. Neither team was trying. To me, Bellerin was the worst player on the pitch. Numerous mistakes. But has to say.
Cool. I know, Mr. Tom, you had something you wanted to say about the game. Did you watch the game?
I watched highlights at work when I was just on YouTube. I was on a video sharing website where I was just watching different teams. I was going, let's see what Arsenal were doing. I was like, I've got nothing else to do for 7 minutes. Let's see what happened to Chelsea. Reece James's own goal, fabulous, just wonderful. Anyway, yeah. So, I thought the first goal you scored was actually. This ain't just an excuse to shoehorn Leeds into a conversation, even though I'll gladly do that. Your first goal against Everton on Saturday was actually quite similar to the goal we scored against you in May.
I think I erased that one from the database.
But basically, defence fell asleep on a corner, and the man at the back post had the ball straight at his feet and had about 7 years to put the ball into the corner. Into the roof of the net, sorry, I meant to say. And that's what happened. That's what we did to you, and you did it to Everton. So basically, by the law of he said, she said, she said, he said, everyone's better than Everton. Because Everton, they're rubbish, aren't they? I mean, they're the worst. I don't like Everton. Everton's bad, aren't they? But, the second goal was lovely. I mean, lovely. The pass, I'm not going to pretend I know who put that pass through, but it was probably Jesus, let's be fair. And
It was.
It was Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, made a educated guess. It's called an educated guess, Tony. You pick a person you think most likely to have done it, and it turns out they probably did it. That's what happened. And Jesus puts the ball across, and you think, give it to the player nearer to you on the right. And he's like, no, I see a better opportunity. Goes right across. Goal. Beautiful. 2-0. You killed off Everton within about the space of 3 minutes. Beautiful.
Right.
Loved it.
All right, Steve Denham, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the audio problems. All right. And Matt, I know you wanted to talk about the game.
Bellerin needs to go, man. They should just left Bellerin at the stadium, man. I mean, it was, there was a particular moment there where he was dribbling, and he had 2 or 3 players open, man. And this fool just drove right into a player, man. I'm just like, I just literally looked at my TV and said, this is why he has to go. There's nothing else to prove. Just terminate the contract, move on, man. I mean, at this stage, you watched that second half of that game. It was just I remember sitting in this chair, man, and I was actually nodding off, just not trying to stay woke to watch that second half. It was that bad.
And try to do a live stream of it.
I mean, it was horrific. And I said to myself, this is the best we got to offer. Man, do y'all realize we in major trouble, man, if some of these starters get hurt?
Yep.
And this has to come out here?
Well, you got to remember, how many starters did we truly have in that game?
And I told y'all last week, I said, what's troubling is that most of these dudes are guys that have either A, started for Arsenal in the past, or B, they've had extensive first-team experience. and they're out there struggling. I mean, it was shocking. This team still needs major surgery. And it depending on who you're talking to, some folks will tell you we're worse off this year. We took 5 goalkeepers over here. Over here, brought 5 goalkeepers over here, man. We bought a player and loaned him out before he even got here. I mean, just look at the logic in that. Yeah, exactly. Shake your head, Tony. Exactly. Shake your head because it's
never going to be a Premier League player. At best, he's going to be a championship player.
Championship at best. That's at best. That's if he works out there. This is why I said you have to, and this is why I've been telling people, don't get emotionally tied to some of these signings because we're signing players. Step back and look at the larger picture. Ask yourself, are these signings going to make it the entire year? You know, Jesus has never had an injury history, a major injury history. But I guarantee that he's with Arsenal now. You know how it goes over here. I mean, there was even talking about he was hurt there towards the end of the second. You know, I started hearing those rumblings, and I was like, well, here we go.
Yeah, I kept hearing people mention that he's.
You know. So I mean, Garrett, we realistically, man, we're about 2-3 weeks away from the season. We're about 2 weeks away from this Emirates Cup deal, which should really be the whoever's starting against Palace when we play. And I'm gonna tell you, man, if we do not have the right players in place, ready to go, with proper backups, man, we're gonna be in some major trouble, man. Yeah. This top 4 this year is gonna be serious business. And I know people out there joking around. They're talking about Darwin Noodles, as they call him now. Darwin Nunez and all these guys over at Liverpool, you know. But teams like I talked to someone this week, and I told them, I said, if you think Manchester United is going to be the same Manchester United that showed up last year, you out your damn mind. They're going to show up ready to go, whether Ronaldo's playing or not. Chelsea, look at that Chelsea team. Look at Koulibaly, man. Conte.
They've been busy the last 2 weeks.
I mean, who the hell is getting past that defense? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at the teams that are strengthening. And what are we doing? We're signing players. We're signing, but we're signing players that's in boots. Before we hadn't even bought a guy, we're not even gonna probably see him play in the preseason. Vieira. Bone issue is what Arteta said. Bone problems. You telling me that y'all didn't see that before y'all picked this guy up? This is why I said I get tired. This is why I get tired of the Arteta sexual and the toxic positivity of some of our fan base. They get so excited and they completely lose it. When in all actuality, you have to look at the actual quality of the players, that some who are here and some that need to be moved on. I mean, you look at that game, the first half of that game, and you look at Jesus, and then you put that up against Eddie and Ketty. It's lopsided, man. It's like lopsided. Like literally, it's lopsided when you watch it. You're like, well, wait a minute. This guy does this, and then you look at the other guy like, and we're paying this other guy $100,000. You have to ask yourself, well, what's the problem? What's the issues here? He should have been sold too. He should have been sold for the $14 million at West Ham or whoever it was that wanted him, and we should have took that $14 million. We got it. You know. All right, Ben. Have a good night, bro. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of players that need to be moved on, and I'm mighty afraid that we're gonna wind up carrying some of these dudes into the season. And then what's gonna happen is once it gets that winter transfer window, that's when they'll unload them because they're trying to. Or these teams need players because players are from the World Cup, because there are gonna be injuries at the World Cup. You just hope they're not on Arsenal team. There will be somebody with the way the schedule is set up this year. There's gonna be some major injuries. I mean, these guys really hadn't had time off, and they're going to be going right out of the gate, you know. And we're in all these competitions this year. So, and knowing Arsenal's injury record, you already know what's coming. I don't have to tell you. You know what's coming. It's just a matter of, do you have adequate replacements?
Yeah,
Most of
definitely.
the
Let's go into the chat real quick,
games,
and then
like,
we'll get. I'll let you talk, Tony, in just a second here. Let me go into the chat real quick here. All right, so I think we were here. Yeah, Mr. Steven, you said you had to leave. Why not? Why not? Why not? Sentiment still believes we need a new starting 11. I don't think we're that. Once again, I don't think we're that bad. Yeah, and Bellerin getting the captain's badge, captain armband. I don't get that. He doesn't even want to be here, right? Once again, we got another player who doesn't want to be here, and he gets the armband. That makes no sense.
Is he one of those players that's in a contract that no one else is going to be willing to pay? So that's why it's hard to shift him on.
Yeah, well, he won a trophy,
That's
right? He won a trophy with
pays 100
Real
plus
Betis, and
grand
they
a
don't
week.
want to pay for him. They want us to give him away for free. And if I recall, right? Yeah, they want us. They don't want to pay. So both Bellerin and Torreira have been really good for the teams they went on loan for, and both of their teams don't want to spend money on Arsenal players, but they don't mind spending it on other players because we're seeing those deals go through. So Arsenal is looked at as, you know what? Eventually they're just going to write it off and give us the player and maybe even pay us for it, right? So because of course the player's not going to leave, right? And so let me go through the rest of these chats here. Darwin Nunes, aka Central C, aka Darwin Noodles, aka Magic Gun Kelly. I hear all these nicknames for him. He's going to a really good team, right? He's going to a really good team, and he's got some good players around him. I don't think he's going to be that big of a. He's not going to be Grealish. I don't believe he's going to be Grealish, where he's going to be sitting on the bench, and they won't miss him. Let me finish here. Let me go. I want to go through the chat, but I'll let you have your say.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, and like you said, Des, we're not getting any Chelsea players that are pretty much on their last legs. Sorry, Tony, about that one, but our 12 million for Bellerin, and also he gets paid what, over 100K a week. I don't think that's going to happen.
They're getting 12 for him in this market.
Yeah. So, Mr. Tom, you had something you wanted to say?
Probably on Darwin. Yeah. Basically, I've just on the Twitter machine. Basically, been seeing loads of videos. People been compiled. Basically, a lot of Darwin Núñez not doing well in the pre-season friendlies, like missing chances, things like this. So that tells me that he's probably going to come out this season banging about 25 goals.
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe he's on the perfect team for a player that, he looked like he had to do everything he could for the team. Was it Benfica he was playing, right? And now he can, now he has a lot more support around him. So I can only assume that's, this could be the same as Grealish, because Grealish was like, everything before he left.
I have overpaid for him, though.
They didn't know, huh?
I'm convinced they've overpaid for him because that's was it 85 million, something like that they paid for him, right? Right, okay. But like Rafinha didn't go for close to 85 million, and that's a player that's proven to be a good player in the actual league. Now, I'm not saying Rafinha should be 85 million. I think we got a very sweet deal for that player, but it's one of these where the player it's above the market. No one else is going for anything close to that. Apart from Jack Grealish only went for 100 million because Man City triggered a release clause. But otherwise, he would have never gone for it.
Yeah, but they didn't have to pay it because we just found it is not. You don't. It's not necessary sometimes to have to pay it. I know maybe West Ham. Is it West Ham, right? Is it West Ham or I get confused. But wherever he was, it was Villa. Sorry, yeah. Villa basically probably, they could have negotiated. Probably never. Who knows if they did or not? But I think it was supposed to be around 55 for us to get Jesus, right? And we didn't pay that. Or wherever one of our players that we bought had a release clause, and we didn't pay the full release clause. So it can be negotiated. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but Villa were in the position of, if you want this player, pay the release clause. Your Man City just pay the release clause.
yeah.
Plus, to be fair, Villa had already spent the money, so they needed Man City to pay the release clause. Villa had already replaced him. I mean,
For all
that
I-
club, you don't replace that sort of player, but they had spent it. So they couldn't go round and be like, no, actually, Man City, we'd rather keep Jack Grealish. Because they'd already gone out and got Leon Bailey and about 5 other players. Same as we started replacing our players.
True.
Before, like, we bought Rafinha's replacement before Rafinha had gone. Because obviously that was a foregone conclusion that was happening. But he's already met Thierry Henry out of
Yeah, I saw that on
out of
Twitter. They
interest.
showed them all. They all showed them all meeting Henri, saying hi. So that's got to be nice.
There was a funny comment where basically someone wrote in response to that video, that's the closest a Leeds player has got to Thierry Henry without him since 2004, without him scored 300 goals past us.
Cool.
Because I said this on Saturday, I'll never not say this. Thierry Henry just has this fetish where he just scores past my team. Like, I can't even hate him for it. He's that good. Even though I did call him a prick for it, but he is that good. He gets out of bed, he's got 2 goals against Leeds United on scoreboard already. It's ridiculous. But polite golf clap. Well done, sir.
There you go. You guys have anything to say, Matt, on Nunez?
No, I mean, it's, like I told you, he'll you gotta give him time to kind of bed in. We'll see where he's at by 15 games this season. We'll know what that's all about.
I mean, I kind of feel like they've got Salah, they've got Jota, and they've got Diaz if they have to sit him down for a little bit. All right, they can probably. I mean, I assume that's their backup plan, right?
Yeah.
If Nunez doesn't start, so I think they've got depth. That's the one thing they have. Tony, anything you want to say on the Nunez comments here?
Plenty of people wanted him. Now you have harsh words to say from him. Like why not? I was saying this is kind of miss and come in and capitalize during the season. So where I wanted to talk, where Matt was talking about the winter window, FA Cup, Europa League knockout, pretty much all the starts past the winter window. So you're not going to have injuries when the window closes. So you're going to have to be smart getting players, because I think there will be a ton of injuries. Fixtures will be coming every more than that. Sometimes they'll be every 2 or 3 days because got to fed up the league, Premier League games. So it'll be very congested. World Cup. At least they got smart enough, and then I tried to go with the Boxing Day fixtures. But when I see how much of a disaster this World Cup is in the middle of what's been going on right now, it's what we should be talking about. On the preseason,
we all love it at the time.
I always look seeing like young players, like academy players. We're not getting to see them. We're just seeing these been sold years ago, but instead they've been perpetually loaned. We haven't replaced them. We're going to be very short on depth, and we got to get rid of these players. Keep some of these players we definitely don't want. They aren't good enough. They don't want to be here. Not good enough players. We're going to be in the same position or worse than last. More competitions, more congested fixtures. So could be there.
Well, you know what's going to happen, though, right? I mean, we already know. So Bellerin and Torreira will walk. All right at the end of the window, most likely. So there goes money out the door. We might even be sending them with money just to make it work. Nelson and Maitland-Niles, who knows what's going to happen there. Maitland-Niles, if I think they need to have a stern talking with him and basically tell him we'll play you where we want to play you, where you're best suited. You know, because I don't.
I wasn't.
He's not a midfielder
Last year,
right
he's saying you play wherever you want to do it.
Yeah, but then they play him in midfield. Did you see what he did in midfield? He did the same thing that Bellerin did. He has no control of the ball with people all around, and he just dribbles right into trouble, and the ball gets taken off his feet.
He's a good athlete and defensively, but he just needs to stick to either fullback or wingback.
Definitely.
He's not cut it as a midfielder.
For sure. So I think, I have a feeling, Runarsson, who's going to pick him up? Right? Leno, they should just sell him because they're not, either they're going to play him or they should just sell him and take the loss. You know what I mean? What's the point?
You should have sold him at the beginning of the window, man. He should have been one of the first people out.
He should have been easy. Well, he's a starting goalkeeper. He should have been easy to sell him, right?
That's an easy $10, $15 million. At this stage.
But $8, right? They want to pay $8. They don't want to pay $10.
Well, damn it, take $8 million.
Fulham's the only team that's came in for him.
Look, let me say this. Why is it that when Arsenal goes in for a bid, they say we want $50 million, Arsenal shows up with $22 million? But then when it's time for another team to do that, now we want the full amount.
You haven't heard of these aren't the droids you're looking for, approach? That's what they try to do.
I've heard of the Edu approach to barbecues. Because that's what that is. Because this is what that is. Is we want everybody else to bend to our will, but then when it's time for us to get down and get dirty, just take the $8 million and move on, man. You gotta stop it.
Like for Bellard or whatever, it's like they want to buy him for 15 million euros, 2 million euros. Go.
Move, like I told you, man. Put a table outside the Emirates Stadium, and set some chairs out. Come one, come all. Everybody's for sale. It's a fire sale. Hey, move on because you got actual business you need to be done. All this talk years ago. Hassan Awar. Free signings. You got all kinds of goodies out there, man. And we still out here fumbling around with players that we know have no future at this organization. No future whatsoever. But it's typical Arsenal behavior. And I'm telling y'all, we're gonna come down all the way to deadline day. Do not be surprised. Let me throw this out here. Do not be surprised that you're going to see 3 to 4 of these players still on this team after transfer window close.
All right, Des, thanks for joining us. For our UK family, thanks for joining us. I know it's getting late. Appreciate the time you've given us. So, yeah.
I like Des.
Yeah, Des is good man. No, definitely there is I think, like I said, I think I've already told you what's going to happen. There's 10 players, there's 8 players definitely that aren't part of the future, and we might sell Leno. That's of the 7, we might sell Leno.
You had Bellerin out there with the damn captain's badge on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. It's just what the club has come down to, man. Y'all know this dude don't want to be here, man. He's already said it. He's begging and pleading. He's twerking for
why not out of here? Thank you for joining us as well.
He's twerking for Betis. And we're up here putting badges on, captain's badge on this guy. Come on.
And you have Carrera even want to leave.
That's another one. Tony's right. That's another one. This dude has literally got a verbal agreement with Valencia. And this guy is over here playing ball in America. He's here. Look at the stupid. Just look how stupid we look, man.
Meanwhile, we have academy players losing because they're not getting any time.
None.
I
We
mean,
got a long way to go, man. We got a long
yeah.
way. Gary, I'm
Definitely.
to school because I gotta get up in the morning. But I just want to get. Definitely want to say that, man. These guys need to be moved on. Wednesday, I'm gonna tell y'all next two games. I'm gonna say it because I know y'all probably go into this. Next two games, I want to be looking really closely at people who should be starting.
All right, why not?
I want Jesus to keep this. I want to keep this streak up. Looks really well. I still say he needs a complimentary striker that goes along with him. We cannot listen. Did y'all watch this? Did y'all see this? They were sending balls into the box, and I said, "Well, how the hell is he gonna hit them? Who the hell is gonna hit these balls? They're just sending them into the box." And I'm like, Jerusalem's been gone for 4 or 5 years. We need a target man. Unfortunately, the one that I want is getting ready to get sold. But
Yes.
we need a target man to change things up. I'm mighty afraid, Gary, that we're going to be in situations this year. You're going to need to go route one, and we can't go route one because we're going to be stuck playing midget ball.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Which is
We don't have a physicality anywhere up front. Hardly.
yeah. Well, I told Dan Potts. I said that it was either Dan or somebody. I said that it was Wax. We got the weakest bunch of strike. I mean, when I say weak, I'm talking frail, weak. I'm talking and I'm from the old school. You know, strong strikers, powerful, good in the air. You know, what's my boy that played for Leeds, Tom? You know him. What's my boy's name that played for Leeds that was real good striker?
Gilhart, Bamford.
No. Old school. He's in the night. What's his name? What's the brother, man? It was a brother. I can't think of his name now.
Yeboah.
Yeah, Tony Yeboah. Old school strikers, man. Powerful. We got guys. We got ballerinas. I'm telling you, wait until these guys run up on these dudes that's 6'4", 6'5", and they're just muscling them out of the way, just pushing them to the side, hit the ball, counter attack down the field. Boom, 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 and it's gonna be the same shit over that we've seen. We gotta tighten it up.
Yeboah's my boy.
A lot of surgery
Yeah.
we gotta get done, y'all.
No, I see. Why not? I thought you were leaving, but that's cool that you're still here with us. Cool. Yeah. No, Bix, gonna hear what you're saying, but I noticed in the game on Saturday when the ball went in, we did go into the middle.
Pushed him out of the
We couldn't make any space to do anything, and eventually the ball had to come out. So
yeah, Jimmy Paul was
the
another.
strength. I don't think that the strength is there for with our forwards to be able to take that ball in the middle and actually create some space so they can actually get a shot off. And I noticed that it didn't happen too often because we didn't get in the ball in the box like that that many times. But the one time I remember that happening, it did. We didn't look like we could do anything with it. You know.
We gotta have some power, man. That's one thing for all the hell you caught, man.
Yeah.
You know, he just lacked the pace. But I would say for as far as getting that ball, putting the head onto the ball, that is one of the most important things that you can have in a team. Somebody that can hit the ball and put it in the back of the net. If I was to pull up stats, that's one of our worst stats. Corner kicks. Man, when the last time we scored a goal off a corner kick? I mean, in a Premier League game. I don't hear nothing about this preseason stuff. I'm talking in a game where it mattered. When was the last time we scored? I don't recall that we scored many, if not more than 3 last year, because I can't think of any. Well, we scored headers. We got
Gabrielle
goals.
had a few, I think.
Yeah, I think Gabby may have maybe 1 or 2. But other than that, man, it's barren lands. And I'm sitting there watching these guys Saturday chip balls into the box. And I'm like, what are we doing? We're not built that way. I mean, Odegaard.
Yeah, we don't have Giroud that scored 28 headers for us.
Odegaard is still frail looking. I mean, these guys need to be on weight plans. They need to be bulking up because that's gonna be our killer when it gets to the muck and the mire in about October, November, when the weather changes. Anybody old school as far as Arsenal know we're all good when it's sunshine, 70 degrees. I believe it's 30 degrees Celsius over that time. what is it? 20 degrees Celsius over there. It's champagne football, and then when it drops down and it gets a cold, as they say, a cold night in Stoke, then that's when Arsenal gets turned over. Is when it counts. We go to Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, and when we go over to Timbuktu
Jerusalem.
and we play in Europa League this year, y'all will see what I'm talking about. Y'all will see these teams push us out the way. Maneuver. We go to Moldova and we play these teams, they will push us out of the way because we are weak and frail. And I'm telling you, that's going to be our Achilles heel. I like Jesus. I want y'all to understand. I'm not saying the boy bad. I rate Jesus. I think he's a great boy.
We want to see Jesus in
Yeah.
New Jerusalem.
Sorry.
That's what we
Yeah,
want to see.
No, that is a second before you let me go to the chat real quick. Ray Anderson has joined us. Welcome. I don't know if I missed you earlier, but welcome to the show. Ray
Rays.
also from Arsenal Fan Circle has joined us. O'Malley, hello, welcome. I think you're new to the channel. Hope you're if you missed the beginning, hope you go back and check it out where we were talking there.
What's
yeah,
the beginning of this one?
I want to get on O'Malley's point. He says that at the he agrees, but the past 5 champions didn't have tall strikers. But what did City go out and get this year? I'm telling you, teams are starting to switch, and they're starting to go back to old. They're gonna go get these big, powerful, rangy strikers.
Yeah.
The world soccer works in football. Excuse me, because I don't want to piss anybody off in the chat. Footy works in circles. There's waves. You had the shifty strikers, the Agueros of the world, and now the game is going back. You start looking at some of these other teams; they're going back to big.
But you know what? You know why it's switching? It's because it's all based on the talent that's available at the time, right? I mean, Harlan has been around for a couple of years now, and voila, bang, City decides, you know what? We're going to switch things up. We can get a really good player. Let's do it. Arsenal can't do that, not right now. Anyways, we can't switch that quickly because we don't even have a solid base, right?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a De Bruyne. We don't have a world-class player on our squad to where you can say, you know what, I can put any number of pegs around him and it will work, right?
I agree, and I think that's the thing that angers a lot of the base when it comes to the Nketiah deal, because you would think at least you look back at where we were, and we always had at least one striker that could play off the other striker. It was one. You had a Eduardo. You had I was in the chat and there was a big debate about Walcott, and I said Walcott. Don't forget Walcott scored over 100 goals for us. He just never lived up to the expectations that we had. That when he came onto the scene, everybody was looking for him to be new Thierry Henry, and it just didn't happen. But Walcott was decent, but he also had a striker to play off of. You had Adebayo, you had players to play off. You had Van Persie, you had players to play off of. But you had Alexis, you had Sexy Sanchez, you had him, you had Giroud to play off of. Well, you got Jesus, now we got Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah,
bro, you think about that. That is deer in the headlight stuff when you yell that out. You say, hey man, you have Jesus and Eddie Nketiah.
Well, yeah, I think they look at Nketiah. They look at Nketiah as a safety valve, and that's not what they should be doing, right?
Who on this panel right now? I think Eddie Nketiah is going to score over 18 goals this year.
18? No. 8. It'd be really good.
Not 18. Yeah. Maybe 28.
Yeah. No, well, like I said, I kind of feel like let Arsenal get a stronger 11 than we had last year, and I think we're there if Zinchenko does arrive, and Tierney's healthy, Tomiyasu's healthy, Partey's healthy, right? If all those things go true, right?
We also got to get
scoring
for midfield too, Gary. That's another issue. That was another one of the gripes that we had last year, is that there's not enough goals coming from midfield. Now, with this fella coming in, that could change. But as of right now, looking at what I see, I don't see where the goals are going to come from. We know Odegaard doesn't score.
We know they're going to come from what we already have, because as Big Gunner said here, I believe, and this is the only way this is going to work, right? This is the only way this is going to work. We're going to have to build on what we did last season. If that doesn't happen, then yes, that means Arteta has failed, right? All the core goal scoring that we had, right, is coming back, all right?
Yeah, but what
So
helped us last year was
just hear me out here.
Struggling.
So we're expecting our youth, right? Saka, Martinelli, Erdegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe to continue to improve, all right? And based on what they did last season, this season, we could easily get 40 goals from them based on what they did last season. All right. You had what? You had like 20, 21 from just Nketiah. Sorry, Nketiah, crap. from Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe, you had 21. Just from those two. Just from those two. So I'm expecting improvements from them, right?
Gary, Saka has to stay healthy. We had him looking like a Hugo.
Yep.
We had him looking like a Fierro. Anybody that's in my age.
Let me just say hi to Anders. Anders, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
We've
brother.
seen some famous faces here. I don't know if I'm one of them or not, but welcome to the show. But no,
I know him.
You look at you look at the way we ran Soccer into the ground last year. I'm telling you, we got off lucky that he didn't get made hurt. If they do that this year, then if he gets hurt or ESR gets hurt, it's 2 or 3 players that if they get hurt, we in major trouble.
No, definitely. Now, and like I said, I think we can easily get 40 goals from those 4 players based on where they were last season. Because I think if I add it all up, we got about 30 goals from those 4 young players, and we've just added Jesus, right?
Yeah,
who's going to get us? He has to be somewhere in that 15 to 20 range, all right? And then you're going to get your odd goals from your center backs, and if Tierney's healthy coming in there, and Zinchenko will help things out. I don't know if he'll score, but he'll give us some opportunities, and we have to get something from Nketiah, something from him. So I get you, Ray, on we need 4 to 5 players scoring 10 goals, but we're not there yet.
We're
not there yet. And when you say 4 to 10, you mean like consistent, that we expect that every season, and we're not there yet.
Yeah, he's looking at 2010, 2012, or 2014 Arsenal. We're a long way from that team.
And not too many teams have 4 or 5 players scoring 10 goals in the Premier League. So if you're thinking Premier League, I don't think that's right. Maybe over the course of the entire season we can get that, but I don't think teams are scoring that many. From 4 or 5 players. Not most teams. Maybe your Cities and your Liverpools, because they're scoring close to 90 goals in a season, but most teams aren't. So, yeah.
All right, fellas, I am off.
All right, Matt. Thanks for joining us. We'll do this again on next Monday. Hopefully, you'll be around for that.
Yeah,
hopefully, we'll have 2 games to talk about next Monday, and hopefully, we'll have another signing.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all donate. Y'all make sure y'all donate to Tony, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure y'all donate. Click the link. Tom, good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
As always, sir.
Hey, Leeds is flashing that cash.
We only survived because you said we would. So
there you go. I don't think anybody thought you weren't gonna survive. Yeah.
All right, fellas.
No, but he said it, so it happened. So
yeah. All right, Ray. Hopefully, you come back and join us. But yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. Why not in terms of the XG? But I'm expecting them to just do better. All right. If they do better, then we're expecting them to improve. The youth, they're still young, and if they don't have to play as much, there's going to be rotation, so they should be improving in what they give. What were you going to say, Tom?
No, I'm just enjoying all this new room that I have.
Oh, it looks like you got a lot of space down there.
I have. So, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Oh, freedom,
Mr. Duck.
Yeah. So we are at 85 minutes here. We will be saying our goodbyes, and we will
excuse me. I did find a question again.
Oh, I hadn't got. I was going to get to that, but yeah. So Mr. Tom does have a question for us. So let's hear it. I'm going to take off the chat, guys. So hopefully if you have any chats, I will bring them out. I will talk about them. But otherwise, let's.
Gary wants the space as well. See?
No,
Space
I
is
don't want
free.
to. No, I don't want to do that.
Right. Okay. Who won the 1941 German Championship? As in, basically, they didn't call it the Bundesliga at that point. But I don't mean the championship like the English, like the second tier. I mean, like who won the German league in 1941?
Nobody.
Oh,
No, it's not a there was no league because of the war type question. Because I would, if that was the case, I would have just done it for England.
I don't know. I have no clue. I never have a clue with any of the questions you ask.
I'm going to, yeah,
Anders-
I'm going to try and
Anders-
find one. I'm going to try and
Anders-
find ones that are more relevant.
Anders
Anders said
says
Malmo.
Malmo.
You know what? He's not the furthest away from being wrong that you could be in this question.
Why not says Stuttgart?
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna let this ruminate for another 30 seconds or so. Just let people start throwing in their answers.
Borussia Mondelez, is that how you say it?
Munchen Gladbach.
Yeah.
One I can't ever
Okay.
But
say.
no, it's not. No.
I'll see if any other clues come in or
Any
answers
more
come in
coming
here.
in? Okay. The answer is, so I'll give you another 10 seconds in case they fly up. Pointing. Yeah, we ready? The answer is Rapid Vienna.
Wow. I would never have thought that.
How could that be possible? Because I believe at the time, Germany had annexed Austria and had basically incorporated their teams into their football league.
Wow.
So they won the championship, which technically means they've actually won more German titles than Bayer Leverkusen.
Wow. I think we beat Rapid Vienna. Is it Rapid Vienna we beat in the Europa League a couple years
I think
ago?
there's two there. It's either Rapid Vienna
It's
or
Rapid
Wien.
Yeah, I think it's Rapid Wien that we beat. So the other guesses were Schalke and Berlin. Base Gunner said great trivia there. So they like the question. They like the question. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right. So Mr. Tom, I'll let you have your last words before we head out of here.
Yeah. As usual, thank you for having me on to listen to the Arsenal speak. I would have only been not being able to sleep right now because of the heat anyway, so I might as well just listen to three guys and loads of people in the chat talk about Arsenal. So yeah, also click similar to what Matt said, click the link, throw Tony a bit of money, a bit of dosh, a bit of wonga, various words to all mean money. Give him your money, you shits. I mean, yeah. So yeah. Just
You're actually pretty good at other words you usually say.
Yeah, look, his sad little little face. He's like, I need my leg.
Remember www.tonysnewleg.com.
Look at his face there. So. He's like, I'm running a secret pharmacy out of my house.
Yeah. So do it. Whatever you can do is we'll be happy. We're happy with the support. And Tony, any last words before we head out of here?
No, kind of with the season. Wish we get more players in. Thank you for taking it to spread my GoFundMe page and the donations. In the kickoff, ready for things to get going. Not too impressed by what we've done. Like Matt said, we have this mountain of dead wood. Not enough depth and power up front. Lots of holes. But we'll see what the future
Cool. All right. And as Tony said, yep, thank you for everyone that's joining us. I could go through all the names. Why not? Joined us Ray Anderson, Ray, BX Gunner, Steve Denham, and Arsenal Misfit, Ed O'Malley. Who else did we have? Let's
Why
go
not?
down the list real quick.
My boys,
of course,
Anders,
is it?
Ben Island,
Anders
Director John,
joined
Mark.
us. There you go. I forget all the names, but
Some
we
of
have
the
thank
Stoop
Des
crew
joined
came
us as well.
in.
Yep. So thanks for joining us
BX, my
today.
boy.
Yes. Mark joined us early in the show.
did.
Thank you.
He did.
Ravenite FC joined us. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. Check out the replay. Director John was with us early as well. Thank you. And so that's the show. And we'll be back on Monday. I will be back. We'll have our show on Saturday as well. I guess it'll be right before the game. So we'll talk probably a little bit about.
Show.
We'll talk a little bit about the Wednesday game. I expect the Wednesday game to be hopefully put all the players that are going to be gone out there maybe for show, and then the Chelsea game will just be Arsenal players and essentially the ones that will be part of the team going forward. Hopefully that's how that works.
You're playing Chelsea in America.
We're playing Chelsea in America on Saturday. Yep. Yes, we are. So Zinchenko should be there. Zinchenko will be playing, potentially could be defending, at some point in the game.
Derby?
It's Sterling. Yeah.
Not in London.
Yeah, you're right. We are playing Chelsea in Orlando. So interesting enough. That's how this thing works.
in Florida.
Be palm trees and sun and all that stuff. So yeah. We will talk to you next Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time, and on Saturday we'll do the trip or do the road trip. And thanks for joining. We'll do this again. As I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. All right, everyone. We are out, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you again for being.